The term analytical overlay is a useful term not only in remote viewing, but in the coming times, defining this distinction between psychic perception versus hidden analysis. So when you feel like you're picking up a message in your brain, but you can't tell if that's a psychic message or if that's just your thoughts in disguise, like you're just analyzing a situation and you can't tell the difference. As you become more psychic, this is no longer so much of an issue. You can clearly distinguish the thoughts that you're picking up from the thoughts that you're thinking analytically, the same way that you would distinguish the difference between a sight and a smell, let's say. But when you're first beginning, these two things are hard to distinguish. And so this term, AOL, which stands for analytic overlay, is kind of a good way to just summarize it. So you have a thought and then you think, I don't know if this is a psychic message or an analytic overlay. Which one is this? And so it's when you're beginning, if you're writing things on paper, you can categorize it that way. You could put, sometimes you might put AOL, and like you feel very confident that it is an AOL, so you just like underline it, and that's what it is. Other times you might be unsure. You could put AOL question mark and then maybe a little note on the side why you think it is or it isn't or both. And so you can develop your psychic ability by starting to distinguish these two things. Is it a message that you're picking up, or is it an AOL? Um, when somebody is in a remote viewing session, obviously they're trying to focus on specifically the psychic message rather than an AOL. But it also works the other way in general life when you're just walking around and you're doing things. Well, you can't really not get psychic perception at the same time. It's just like if you're walking around with your eyes open and you're like, well, I'm not going to focus on what I'm seeing right now. Well, you can't really not see while your eyes are open. Of course, you're going to see. And so the same idea is happening while you're walking around and just doing things in life. You are getting psychic messages. And so start trying to distinguish those. Is this an AOL or is this a message? With whatever you're doing, whether it is remote viewing or whether it is just walking around, have that sort of distinction of mind.